roster in the NFL. But Troy Aikman spoke to a local radio station yesterday and explained that it may be time to reevaluate that claim. Take a listen.
Here locally, I mean, I listen to the various shows. I certainly read the newspaper, and the discussion is this team really as talented as what everyone thought coming into the season? And I've reached out to a lot of people around the league that have played the Cowboys and have studied them on film, and there are coaches that think this is an overrated roster.
Well, Shannon, how much truth is there to this?
That cut, Skip. That cut deep. That cut deep, Skip.
Maybe you, not me.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth in this, Skip, because it's an easy trap to fall into, Jenny, because you know why? You look at an offensive line, and you got 4 guys that's paid tops at their position. So you got your left tackle, your center, your right guard, your right tackle. They're top 3, top 4 at their position. You look at the running back, he's number 1 at his position. You go to the defensive side. You look at DeMarcus Lawrence, the highest paid defensive end in football. You look at Jalen Smith, now he's into the mix. So you look at these contracts, and people automatically think, he makes $1 million. He makes $50 million. He's got to be good. No. And Jason Garrett gets the blowback because everybody says, well, look, Jason can't coach. What about the players that's not living up to that contract? Skip Bayless has told me their offensive line, week after week, the offensive line got their Royals' tails kicked.
Golden.
Yeah, no, you say golden. Yeah.
Gold. In overpaid.
Yeah. Got their golden tails kicked. You tell me it seems like the running back, the $90 million running back, is still running in Cabo sand. And DeMarcus.
Good line. Say that again.
Yeah, he running in Cabo sand.
That's funny.
And DeMarcus Lawrence, he refused. He said he just Lawrence now. He don't even call him back DeMarcus. He just call him Lawrence. And Jalen Smith, they're like. So that's what's happening, Skip, is that everybody, when you look at it from the outside and you see these big names and you see the big contracts that they're being paid, you automatically think that's talent. But that's not how it works. They have not performed. At some point in time, we need to hold players accountable for not living up to what they're being paid. Instead of, because Jason Garrett is really low-hanging fruit, it's easy to blame him. The offensive line has been a disappointment. If you want to say Zeke has been a disappointment, okay, so be it. But I tell you who's been the biggest disappointment is that defense. Skip, that defense has been abysmal.
It has.
And so there's no way around it to say, oh, man, they're Where? You make it seem like they got some Aaron Donalds over there. No, they don't. They don't have a Luke Kuechly. No. So we need to stop this, Skip, because every time you look at it, you're like, ooh, they got Zeke and yada, yada. You know, they talented. They're not. And I told you this. We need to stop saying talent. What are they winning with that talent? I don't think they're as talented as people, and I agree with Troy. I don't think they're as talented as people think they are, but because they get big dollars, Skip, high dollars, they're like, oh, they talented. That's not the case.
Yeah, you have said many times on the show this year, this is a loaded football team.
Skip, if you look, I mean, they have depth, they have everything, but you look at Byron Jones. Has Byron Jones played anything close to what he played like last year?
Yes. I think he has.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yes.
He picked the wrong, put it like this here. He picked the wrong year. He should have had the year he had last year. He should have had it this year, and he'd have been the highest paid DB coming out. Still might because he's going to be a free agent, and Dallas has shown no interest. But, Skip, that offensive line, Skip, your defense, you mean to tell me that they played to what you thought they would, considering that you've seen snapshots of it?
But that's not overrated. That's definitely overpaid, underachieving, but not overrated. We're talking about everybody swung and missed. They thought so-and-so was this good, and he's really average. That's what you're talking about, overrated.
Maybe, Skip, at some point in time, they were. But as this age and attrition, you see the offensive line is starting to...
Or what do you say about dragging that bag behind you? You get your money, and you lose your edge. Right?
Some do.
Okay, some do, and I'm afraid a whole bunch of these have. Okay, if you want me to boil it all the way down, there are 2 positions on my defense that are way overrated, but I never rated them in the first place. The safeties, that's an ironically named position because they're not very safe, neither one of them.
No.
And Jeff Heath, I think, is going to be back this week, but he's got 2 banged-up shoulders.
I don't really know how you play with banged-up shoulders.
You know what? What have I told you from the start? He tries hard.
He's a try-hard guy.
He tries hard, but he's he's below average.
Right. He'll be where he's supposed to be, Skip. He won't make any wild plays. He's not going to be Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu, anything like that.
No.
But he'll be where he's supposed to be, and he'll make the play that he's supposed to make. Nothing spectacular, but just a solid football player.
Xavier Woods is he's just average at best. So you have average, which was why Jerry he came within like a hair at the trade deadline of acquiring Earl Thomas a year ago. Remember that? I think the rug got jerked out from under him where he said, we thought it was for a 1, and all of a sudden it's supposed to be for 2 1s or a 1 and a 2 or something. And so Jerry got his pride up and said, okay, that's the end of that deal. And then they kicked the tires of Jamal Adams this year, and I thought, maybe. I'm not a big Jamal Adams fan, but still,
he'd
be a big upgrade over these two.
Yes.
He could play by himself in the secondary and be better than these two combined. So now that's where it's overrated. Okay, those two. Other than that, what did we see from those 2 kid linebackers last year? We're talking about Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith, who now looks like just another Smith. That's how he's been playing lately. Leighton Van Der Esch has got a neck injury, and to your point, this could be career-threatening at least, and it sounds like he's going to be gone for the year.
Yeah, Skip, it's kind of hard. It's kind of like when you're talking about Jeff Heath with shoulders. It's kind of hard to have shoulder injuries and the neck injuries in a game when you use your neck and your shoulders.
Yeah, where you're supposed to be a high-contact tackler.
You're a linebacker. Right. You use your neck.
And yet, who had missed the most tackles on the Dallas Cowboys before he got hurt was Leighton Van Der Esch. He still leads the league in tackles, and he's missed the last 4 games. I mean, leads the team in tackles. Missed tackles, and he's missed the last 4 games. So the point is, what do we see? Again, I'm just going on what I saw last year. Remember against Drew Brees, those 2 kid linebackers? They took the game over. Remember against Russell Wilson and that vaunted number 1 rushing attack? Those 2 kids took the game over. So does that mean they're overrated? Or what happened? Did Jalen Smith get his money and lose a little edge?
Well, maybe we jumped the gun. Maybe Skip, we heaped too much praise and said, look at them, and we didn't let this thing play out a little longer than what we should have. We should have let it go a year or two, at least the bare minimum 2 years. Because early on, Skip, I agree with you. They were flying around making plays. Jalen Smith was knocking people out.
And we're talking about sideline to sideline, running people down.
Skip, he doesn't look this. If I was him, I would probably lose like 10 pounds. Because he looks a little heavy to me.
He might. I'm with you on that. And then we get to DeMarcus Lawrence, who used to be DeMarcus Lawrence. He's a Pro Bowl pass rusher. He deserved his
last 2 in 1 year. He was all pro.
Okay, all pro. Where is he now? I don't know. I keep telling you, my pass rush comes and goes, but it mostly just goes because it's not there. I'll see flashes from Robert Quinn, but there's a reason 2 teams let him go. There's a reason, okay? But he'll give you bursts.
He'll give you a flash, yes.
Here and there. Michael Bennett has given them a lot of little flashes. But is he a take over the game player at this stage and age? No, he's not.
I think Robert Quinn would be better, Skip, if you only played him, say, like 30 snaps, and those snaps were where he could just rush the passer. When you ask him to try to play 45, 50, maybe a lot of the snaps, teams can wear on him because he's not that big of a guy. He's more of at this juncture of his career, he's a specialist, and he will perform better in that kind of a role. But I agree with you, Skip. I just think the thing is that when we look at this team and we look at look at that offensive line. Skip, the offensive line, they got no.
Okay, it has, and plus, what can be the worst debilitating injury you can have, especially for a big old offensive lineman? Ty Smith has a back that plagues him. Zach Martin has a back that plagues him. And if you have to crouch over and get down in your stance and you can't get out of your stance, we got problems.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And God bless Travis Frederick, but he came off this syndrome, and it was hard. And a lot of people think he's the comeback player of the year, but he's not wreaking quite the same havoc he used to wreak.
When we look at the Dallas offensive line, Skip, you remember in 2014, you remember in 2016, they were opening gaping holes.
Gaping holes. And they did it one time this year against the Giants at the Giants. And Zeke said, I've never seen bigger holes than this since Pop Warner.
We used to see that 6, 7, 8 times a year.
I agree.
Now we get it 1 time a year.
Okay. So, again, not overrated, but old. Just getting older. I'll give you that. That's possible.
Skip, the thing about sports, that I love about this, you can talk about it, but eventually you're going to have to show me what you're talking about. DeMarcus Lawrence doing all this talking, Skip, but at some point in time, I'm gonna watch the game.
You are. I agree.
And I'm gonna need to see what you talk, what you sell, what you trying to sell me. I need to know if I need to buy it. Right now, I'm gonna pass, bro, because I don't see it.
And by the way, the guy in this organization who talks the biggest and the most is the owner GM. And I'm looking at all the contracts he's doled out, and I'm saying too much, too much, too much, too much, too much, right? Overpaid.
Yeah.
Well, some of that's got to fall on the owner.
Sure.
Yeah, Skip, I mean, he's paying them because I believe every guy that he paid had earned that contract. But the obligation, I mean, see, this is why they say we don't like to give guaranteed contracts. Every other sport, for the most part, every other sport, you look at basketball, you look at baseball, they're getting 324, 245.
I got it.
But football players, if the guy doesn't do or supersede what he did to get that contract, see, the money, he ain't the same.
Huh.
So the final irony is the one player I trust the most is my quarterback who's still playing on a fourth-round rookie contract.
Okay.
The irony.
You're right. Skip. What happened when he get that 40